welcome back to a new episode of Gunpla TV. This is episode number 240, and I'm here with, this isn't Sid.
You could tell.
You could tell, maybe.
My name's Lindsay, and this isn't my first time on Gunpla TV. You might remember me from, what was it, a year ago?
No, I think it's longer than that, because I started here over a year ago.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, it was end of 2016. Sorry, end of 2015 that I started doing Gunpla TV. It was like December, I think.
Wow, it's really been that long.
Oh.
I guess it's been almost 2 years. So, long time no see, guys.
Yeah, how's it been?
Very busy in my department, but I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, you built a couple of things on the show. Actually, when you were on the show, I wasn't here yet, so I was just like you guys, just out there watching this as a regular. And I remember when you and Anna were on, and you had built a few kits.
Yeah.
You built the bear guys, I believe.
We did. We built the Poochie guys.
The Poochie guys.
We had an argument on whether it was petite guy or Poochie guy.
Well,
I prefer Poochie guy myself.
That's the Japanese way. It's
right.
Poochie guy.
It's just easier to say.
Yeah, it sounds cuter too. Poochie. Poochie.
Right? And I also built a Xenosaga kit of Cosmos by Kotobukiya and a few others, an HG or two. I think an SD Gundam as well.
Okay. But it's been a while.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in building some more?
Of course.
All right, we'll have to see what's coming in. They have, speaking of new Gundam kits, kind of in that genre, I guess, but we do have that China guy coming out soon, and they have like actual it's a Gundam, but it's Go. I mean, we had the Fumina, the Super Fumina.
Right, but Super Fumina is a mobile suit, right?
It's technically, well, not really mobile suit, because the show it's from, they're not actually like in the suit. They just clip it onto the base.
Right,
and
they're toys.
There's still a toy in the show too.
Right, it's a Gunpla in the show, and Fumina is a Gunpla, but this bear guy, the China guy one, is just the girl, the character with a bear suit on, right?
Right. That one hasn't been in the anime, but I think they are still working on some new anime, so I'm wondering if maybe these kits are from the future, or is it from a spin-off? I haven't been keeping up with... I know they do some comics for
Build Fighters
still, but I'm not sure where exactly this China guy and that stuff comes from, but there are some interesting Gundam kits on the way.
I think we could all use a new season of Build Fighters. It's been a while.
I loved that show. I know Sid wasn't too fond of it, but I loved Build Fighters. And
it was very interesting.
It was a pretty good anime, I thought. If you guys haven't seen Build Fighters, you really should.
And I haven't seen the second season yet, but I heard the first one's the best.
The first one is definitely the best, but I think that kind of really is like a Gundam tradition. The first season is always the best, then you get into that second season, it's kind of like, eh. But really, the second season of Build Fighters, I mean, it wasn't as good as the first season, but I really still enjoyed it. So it wasn't so bad. It didn't go in some crazy direction like some shows do. You get to that second season, and they're just like, what's going on? It wasn't like that at all.
So what have we brought with us today?
Yeah, we've been gone for 3 months. We've missed a few kits, but I do have two things built that we can talk about today. This first one is the new Master Grade Justice Gundam, and this came out last month. This was a big release. So I have this built. I was hoping to get a chance to talk about this one. And we'll go into that a bit more. But also I wanted to mention we do have the Hamma-Hamma as well. This one just came out last week. And this is RE 100 scale. So they're both 100 scale, but they're not both the same grade. We got the Master Grade and the RE 100, which is a newer grade that was just started like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Oh, it's been a while.
Now, what's the big difference between the RE 100 series and the Master Grade series?
Master Grade series, these kits are really detailed, and they have more parts. They're usually a lot more detailed, and they usually always have like an inner frame type thing too. So you build the inner frame, you put the armor on outside of it, and just the way they engineer these kits, you can tell there's like a big difference between the two. Now the RE 100 kits, if you guys have ever put together like an HG grade kit, it's kind of just like a giant HG kit, really.
Really.
So you don't really have that inner frame, and maybe there's not so much details on it. Some of the pipes are kind of really HG-ish looking, not so much detail, and maybe they're not as sturdy as a master grade.
Well, now this one comes with the action base, right?
Yes, so that depends on the kit too. I'm trying to remember. Did any RE kits ever come with an action base?
I don't think so.
I don't. Nightingale didn't. Whoop.
Got him.
That's a good catch.
Now that's what we wanted to bring up. This guy's a bit wobbly.
He's a bit wobbly. We'll get into that one.
He's so top heavy, right?
He's a bit top heavy,
with the big shield.
We'll talk about that too once we do the close up on these guys, so we can give more details. But yeah, maybe I should hold on to this. But before I do this one, I guess let's talk about the Master Grade Justice. Alright guys, I hope I can do this review justice.
As the saying goes.
As the saying goes. So this kit came out, like I mentioned before, I think I did. This kit came out last month, but I didn't have a chance to come in here and do an episode because we've just been so busy. So finally I have a chance to give you guys a look at this kit, and what a beauty it is. This is, of course, a Master Grade kit, and just like the other Master Grade seed kits that we got recently, we had the Freedom, and then we had the Providence. This is the third one in the line. When they first showed off, I believe it was when they showed off the Freedom, or was it the Providence, they had a Justice Gundam kind of off to the side at the show, and everybody was kind of speculating, hey, is that Justice Gundam? Are they going to make an actual Master Grade Justice Gundam kit? And everybody speculated, and sure enough, finally it came, and it's really nice.
And it comes with a special photon pack.
It does. It comes with the backpack, or the Photon 0000 pack on the back. This is a big backpack, and because it does have this big backpack, it does come with a stand. This is that same stand we've gotten with a couple other Master Grade kits here. So this is a bit different design to the stand than the one that you can buy separately if you want, but I really like this stand. I kind of do wish that I could buy this separately, but I'm glad that this kit comes with stands, because whenever kits that come with stands, it always makes me happy. It's like a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Hey, this kit has a stand. I don't have to worry about it falling over on my shelf. Speaking of falling over on my shelf, we'll talk about the Hamma-Hamma later. But yeah, this is a review of the Justice Gundam. So, you guys have watched Sid's reviews of the Freedom and the Providence before, so the inner frame of this kit shares pretty much the same insides with the Freedom and the Providence. So I don't really need to go into a whole lot of details there, because you guys have already seen Sid talking about a lot of like the movements and stuff that this frame is capable of. So we're just going to take a look about this specific kit itself, and just I didn't get a chance to put together that new Freedom, because that's what Sid did, but really looking at this Master Grade kit, just the amount of details that you get on this kit just looks really spectacular. Now, they had the real grade version of this kit before, but that's in 1/144th scale, which is a bit smaller, and when you have it in 100 scale like this, it's really easier just to pick out and just see how great this mobile suit design looks.
Yeah, and the panel lines are really nicely detailed.
Right?
I'm sure they'd really pop if you gave it some extra paint.
Right, or if you did like a nice panel line wash, then you can really get them to stand out. But since we're just trying to show you guys like the kit as it would look if you were just to build it straight out of the box. We didn't go through and do a lot of panel lines and whatnot. Also, that does take some time, so we'll have to see if we can do that in the future. Alright, so this kit, let's talk about some of the stuff that it does come with. Of course, you've already seen the giant Photon backpack, which is like the biggest new addition for this kit, besides all the new armor pieces that you get with this kit. But you also, of course, you get the new gun.
Yeah, that is the Lupus Beam Rifle.
The Lupus Beam Rifle. It looks cool. I got a hand stuck on there. It's a nice looking piece. It's got parts that move here, of course, you get just like some of the other guns do. And of course you get a shield, but I think this is pretty much the same shield that came with the Freedom, just in different colors, I believe. Alright, and also, actually let me plug in his hand here so you guys can see what it looks like.
We don't have the parts cut off, but he also comes with the Lacerda beam sabers and the basal beam boomerang.
The beam boomerang. Alright, so I do have the parts here, so I can show you. It does come with some beam saber parts, and of course you get the handles, but I didn't go through the effort to cut these off. That's okay. Most Gundam kits always come with these beam sabers. Anyway, there. Let's plug this in here. There you go. Alright, so you can see it with the shield and the gun. Alright, so one of the cool things with the Justice Gundam is he has the ability to kind of surf on his photon pack. So let's show you guys how that would work here. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is unplug the Justice from the photon backpack there. And let's take this off of the stand. So here you have this gray part, and this is just going to fold up like that. They give you this extra kind of U-clip here that you just clip on like that. And so that gives you your peg so that you can rest this flat on the stand. So you're going to need to take your stand and adjust it. Let's loosen all the locks here. Let's move this down. There we go. Let's have it there. And maybe we can put that there. Alright, so now this is kind of level here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just clip this onto the stand. Alright, but how do you... but how is it possible? If you just have this guy sitting on top of here, that doesn't look very stable now, does it? Whoa!
Well, maybe you could get him to stand, but if there was even a slight earthquake, he'd fall right over.
He'd be flying off. Bye!
Or a cat. A cat would do it in real nicely.
Ah, cat, yeah, if a cat just jumps on your shelf, hey, this looks cool. Swat! And your poor Justice Gundam goes flying. No, help me. Alright, so on top of this, there are two panels that you can remove, and there are going to be two holes shown. And on the bottom of your Justice Gundam, there are, if you guys can see that there in the camera, I hope you can, there are two, there are two kind of pegs that you can pull out and point down. There you go. Alright, so with these two pegs, what you can do is position them in the holes on top. And that kind of gives you a bit more of a secure lock to keep the Justice on. There we go, let's put this back on. Oh, wait, keep him on top of here. And you can position these guns if you want. You can fold them down, you can kind of put them up. And the wings, because you're going to be kind of in flight mode now, you can fold them so they are flat and look more like actual wings. There we go. Alright, so you're going to have him surfing here on the pack, like so. There we go. Do we have that on camera? We might need to.
Let's see. We're going to tilt up just a little bit.
There you go. Give it a little bit of a tilt. Let me get his gun on.
There we go.
There we go. So this is the unique look for the Justice Gundam that you don't get with the Freedom or the Providence, of course, because it doesn't come with a photon pack. But that looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. The gun can also hook to its back. So if yours falls off a little bit, like Todd's was doing there, you can just clip it to his back and equip him with one of his other weapons, and he's good to go.
My parts always fly off. Alright, one thing I did also forget to mention that comes with this kit, you, of course, a lot of Master Grade kits, you tend to get a little figure.
Yeah, the cockpit opens, right?
The cockpit also opens. This is a kind of a standard feature for Gundam kits here. Am I going to break it here? Oh, this one kind of doesn't really open. It just kind of like pulls out so you can kind of see the pilot sitting in there.
Zoom in a bit there.
If you can. So
yeah, I think we can see it.
You get the two figures. You get the standing one and you get the pilot guy that sits inside of his chest. That's always a cool thing with the Master Grades is you can kind of see where they would actually sit inside of a suit.
Yeah, that's really cool. And they are unpainted though, so...
They are unpainted, so if you want to have colored figures, you'll have to paint it yourself. But painting a 100 scale figure, you've got to have some pretty good skills, I would say, to paint these, to make them look halfway decent.
Yeah, it looks a little difficult there.
Just a little bit. I think 1/35th scale figures are already kind of difficult enough to paint, but painting a 100 scale figure, that's mastercraft. And of course you also get some stickers if you would like to put them on there. I believe these are dry transfers.
Okay, so those are decals.
So these are kind of like decals, not water slide though. These ones you just kind of like rub them on and they will stay like a decal. But you also get, of course, you get the traditional stickers that come with most Gundam kits. So you have some options for some markings. If you don't like just the regular plain looking plastic, there is that. Alright, so that's going to do it for the Justice. Let's move on to the next one. I love the name of this one. Hamma-Hamma-Hamma! As you guys can see, this kit has a bit of trouble standing up. He is kind of wobbly, this one. I put him together. He just came out last week. This is the brand new RE100 Hamma-Hamma. And there we go. Let's see if we get him to stand. Alright. Is he going to stand? Maybe?
I think you got it.
I think I got it? Okay. Let's see how long he lasts. Alright, so yes, this is the new RE100 Hamma-Hamma. This just came out last week. And this is a Zeon suit, as you can see. He has a cool look to him, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, the huge shoulders with the veneers all over them. Really impressive. Like, he looks like a formidable opponent.
Doesn't he? He's got this really big upper half, but really skinny legs. So he's kind of like, he's one of those muscle guys that worked out the upper torso, and then he just completely skips out on leg day. But because of that, it just it makes him a bit hard to keep standing. He can do it, as you can tell.
Yeah. I mean, a base would be nice, but he can stand up if you balance them correctly.
He can.
And he does come with 4 little bases for his, what do they call it, full range attack.
The full range attack.
With his flexible arms.
He does come with these, but we'll take a look at that a little bit later, I guess. But first I kind of want to just talk about the design of the suit itself. There's a couple things I wanted to point out. This is an RE100 kit, so the details aren't really going to be like really as good as the Master Grade like we just saw with that Justice. But even that, I still think it looks pretty cool. I mean, if you're a fan of Zeon suits, you won't want to miss out on this one, just because it's a really unique look. And this was like a prototype suit in the series, I think it was, and one of the first suits that had the fancy psychocom system that later we saw in the Zazabi and whatnot. So it's kind of cool to have a suit like that in your collection. But there are some issues with this kit that I want to point out. The parts kind of tend to fall off a bit easily. Now, as you see here, the leg just kind of flops off. It just has this little connector here, and then there's a peg here. And when you pick it up, I found that this leg doesn't really want to stay connected so well.
Of course, that'll vary from kit to kit.
That'll vary from kit to kit. It could just be me, how the way I put it together. You never know. But yeah, so the legs tend to fall off. And there's these little yellow yellow pipes that come here on the shoulders, but they, as you can see, this one fall off. They tend to fall off a bit. So if you're buying this kit with the intention of doing some crazy poses with it, you're going to need to buy a stand.
And of course, because the pipe parts are not movable, you can always glue them in if you're having an issue with it.
You definitely can glue them in if you want, and that would probably help keep some of these parts in. I'd probably recommend it for some of those small yellow parts like you saw on the shoulder, just because of how they tend to pop off and whatnot. Alright, so the head on this guy is kind of cool, but I found the head's a bit wobbly-ish too. But he has some cool designs for the arm. The fingers, they are a bit adjustable, so if you wanted to have the fingers posed a bit, you can move them to an angle that you want. Now the arms, the joints for the arms, you have, might be easier if I pulled off the shoulder to talk about that here. Alright, so the arm, it comes with a joint that kind of makes it possible to move the arm in a more forward position. And then you have a joint here on the shoulder as well. But here, this is just like a solid connection going through.
But he makes up for that with the extendable arm.
He does, and also, there's one more thing I wanted to show. Oh, don't lose it. Now, they give you this joint piece here as well. So you have kind of two options when you build the arm or when you put it together. I'm just going to keep these things off as they fall off. So you can take this part off here, and if you want, you can put this joint that they give you here on the arm. The only problem I find with this is it doesn't look as cool once it has this joint part here attached. In the manual they show you can do it either way. You can have it plugged directly, or you can plug it in here with the joint. And once you do have the joint in there, it makes it possible to kind of bend his arm around a bit. And this is going to be needed later on when we show kind of the extension parts that also come with this kit. Actually, might as well, let's get into that now while we're talking about the arm. So one of the cool trick features with this arm that you can do is, and it gives you some extra parts to do this. So for this mobile suit, one of his weapons is that his arm kind of like shoots out and attacks. And they give you these yellow parts and gray parts, and then also there's some wire that is included with this kit. So you can just loop around the wire in here to give it that kind of a more cool look to it. And let's pop this off here. Let's keep that there, I guess. You can connect that here. Whoops, I'm plugging the wrong one in. Alright. There we go. Oh, he already had a joint. Alright, so you can plug in his arm extension for the first half. Now, if you wanted, you could plug it in also and just have it like that if you wanted. Or you could also, it gives you this part here. So let's plug that back in, and you can unplug his hand and then give you this extra wire thing here. And this is just connected together with wires. And what you can do with this one is, let's unplug that part there. You plug this in like so, and then you plug the claw in here, and you can do some pretty cool poses with this guy with his arm sticking out. But as you can see, it doesn't want to stand just by itself. So what they have here is they give you these extra little stands. No stand for the kit itself, but they do give you stands for these weapons here. And they just plug in like so.
And it comes with 2 for each arm.
And it comes with 2 for each arm, so you have a total of 4 mini stands that come with this kit. There we go. Let's see if I can get him to stand by himself. And then this one will just kind of plug in also in here. There we go. Maybe I should rotate that around. So, you kind of get the idea. This one's not wanting to work with me. He's pretty sturdy just by himself with that joint on there. So you can kind of work with it however you want and just kind of pose it, play around with it just to see how you would like to do. But I wish this kit did come with a stand for the mobile suit itself because he's a bit wobbly, but he is a really cool looking suit and I would recommend it if you are a fan of Zeon mobile suits. So yeah, good luck keeping him standing up, but I mean, it's a Zeon suit. I love Zeon suits. It looks cool. I mean, if you plan to just get him on your shelf, then yeah, I would definitely buy a stand just to keep him from falling over. I just feel like any earthquake greater than a 2 and he's going to be flying over. And with his big size, if you have him like in a shelf with a bunch of other HG kits, he's just going to be like a wrecking ball. Everything is just going to go flying off of that shelf once this guy topples over.
Well, the fortunate thing is most people don't have to worry about earthquakes as much as we do.
That's true. Yeah, there are quite a few earthquakes here. We've had a few just like the last few weeks too.
Yeah, they always wake you up in the middle of the night, you know.
I always keep feeling them. Yeah, I mean, I lived in California before and we had earthquakes there too, but just the amount that we get here, it's like once a week.
Right,
I'm
at
always
least.
feeling something.
Mm-hmm.
But makes it challenging if you have a Gundam collection. But usually not much falls over. But this guy, I definitely worry. But yeah, he looks really cool. I mean, I would recommend it just for the looks of it. I mean, it's a big, bulky suit.
And look how cool the box art is. Come on.
That box art is gorgeous, isn't it? It was pretty cool, I thought. They're getting pretty good with the box arts lately. A bit busy maybe, but it looks really cool. Alright, well, there was nothing new that came in today, so we won't have a new episode for you guys next week because we do need to kind of wait for some new stuff to come in. But it's been so long since our last episode also that I don't have any comments prepared and whatnot because all the comments are like from the last episode we did with Sid was in April.
Wow.
So it's
been
been
long,
a while.
eh?
So yeah, it'd be interesting. Leave your comments and tell us what you guys think if you want to see more. But I think that pretty much does it for this episode of Gunpla TV.
Yep.
Alright, thank you guys for watching. Please remember we are brought to you by HobbyLink Japan. You can find us at hlj.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook and
Tumblr.
Instagram, Tumblr.
There you go.
I'll tumble for you. Wasn't that
What's that from?
Wasn't that Culture Club from the 1980s? Oh, I guess I'm showing my age.
Born too late for that, I'm sorry.
Alright, well thank you guys for watching. See you later.
See ya.